Hey, what's going on, guys? Big Herm here. I am going to do a video today that's been requested a few times because I seem to be like one of like a few people that have actually put on this DNM rear shock for the Xclass 52 volt. So I'm going to go ahead and do an uninstall, which I won't have a video of because that's kind of the boring part. And then I'm going to do a reinstall. So you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, and I'll kind of talk through it on any troubles I had or anything like that. So as you can see, I have the bike upside down. That's how you're going to want to start it. And all right, let's get into it. So first things first, these are the tools that you're going to need. So you're going to need a little flathead, and then if you just have like a regular little multi-tool like this, this will work just fine. Or if you just have a set of Allen wrenches or, whatever, they'll all work. So when you're first taking off the stock shock, you're going to want to undo the bolts with the Allen wrench. And then you're going to want to use the flathead to kind of push this bolt out on the other side. You're going to want to do that on both. It's kind of a soft edge in a way where there's no threads on this. The bolt that you initially unbolt, that's what that bolt threads into. So you want to go ahead and pop these out. All right, guys. So once you have the stock shock off, you're going to want to take the bushings that were on the stock shock. I've actually already done this. You want to reuse the bushings on the stock shock, and you want to put them onto the new one. Little spacers, bushings that come on the upgraded shock are not going to work on the configuration that's actually on the bike. The linkage is just a little too wide for those. One helpful tip, I'm kind of a bigger guy, but I go ahead and I have this resting on my leg because otherwise it's going to drop all the way down to the frame and you may potentially damage your bike. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the install. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get this installed. So what I found was, due to the linkage size, you have to mount this upside down. It will fit the other way, but there's a slight gap between the spacer and the linkage. And I just don't trust that if I hit a jump or something like that, that the little linkage would actually absorb all of the force and, potentially break. So when you're installing the shock, I always like to start on the wheel side because the first time I did this side first. And when I installed the shock, it was too long and it actually kept hitting this and couldn't go under. So go ahead and start on the wheel side first, again with the fat side of the shock. And once you have this rear bolt on, your shock should look something like this. So it's going to be hanging there. You literally just want to kind of guide it in. I just use my legs and then just kind of slowly bring the eyes together. And it might be a little finicky, but once you get it lined up, everything should just pop right in. If I can find the bolts. All right, ended up finding the shorter bolt. And remember what I said earlier about how this doesn't have threads. It has threads on the inside, just not on the outside. So you just want to pop this in. Again, it can be a little finicky, so you just have to play around with it until it pops in. And one little trick I do, and you'll see, like when you look at this, you'll probably be like, what the hell, I need 2 Allen wrenches, like you can't do this with one. So if you have the little tool that came with your X52, it actually fits perfectly into that bolt and it won't strip it. And then you just use the Allen wrench to tighten the threaded side. And then once you have both tightened down, you are honestly all set. It's a super quick install. The first time I did it, it took me a little while because I just couldn't figure out how to get this off, and then the flathead just kind of popped it out. But yeah, super easy. And if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below. Cheers.